Hey there, welcome to Coaching Change Lives. So glad you can join us this week. Now, this week we're going to continue where we left off last week on our exploration on the coaching competencies. There are 8 competencies in the ICF, and these competencies will help you whether you are a beginning coach, an advanced coach, a professional coach, or a masterful coach. So, whether you're going from the ACC, PCC, MCC, these competencies are going to be helpful for you, and these videos are meant to support you in your learning journey. So today we're going to explore one competency that has baffled many people, and many coaches around the world have asked me, Jedi, how do we approach this competency? How do we understand these competencies, and how do we grasp this? How do we develop ourselves in this competency? And that is none other than competency number 2, which is on the coaching mindset. Now, I'm so glad it's not coach's mindset or client's mindset, but the coaching mindset. Now, in fact, a while ago, the ICF was called the International Coach Federation. But in recent years, it has developed itself to the International Coaching Federation, where coaches came together and said, hey, it's not just about the coach, it's not just about the client, it's about the coaching process, the entire process. In the same way, it's not about the coach mindset, it's also about the client's mindset, and about the coaching flow and the coaching process. In fact, in our program, Mastering Coaching, we go deeper in the coaching mindset, helping coaches to become practitioners of the coaching mindset, helping them to understand why this is so relevant for them in this day and age. And why is having this mindset so key? Now, what's the difference between this mindset and the growth mindset and the fixed mindset and the learning mindset? Well, the truth is this. Our mindset, it's the datum or a reference point by which we consider different things, by which we consider different thoughts and processes as well. So when we consider one of the key attributes of our mindset, it's how we begin to think about things. How do we frame the world? How do we frame the conversation? How do we frame the coaching process with our clients? So the mindset is important for us to understand, because the greater awareness we have about ourselves, the greater awareness we have about our clients, the greater awareness we have about the coaching process, the deeper we can take our clients to. Remember, coaching is all about having that precision approach. It's not about having lengthy sessions, about 5-hour sessions, 10-hour sessions. No, it's about having the precision conversation so that the client can get out of the conversation and get a transformed life. So one of the key attributes in the coaching mindset is about thinking about thoughts, thinking about the way we frame the world, thinking about the way we develop ourselves as coach, thinking about the way our clients learn as well. Many other people have approached coaching mindset with a kind of fearfulness, because they're thinking, oh, what kind of mindset must I have? Is this something that I have or I don't have? Is this something born or is this something nurtured? The truth is this: coaching is a skill set that you can learn. So whether you're a leader, whether you are a business owner, whether you're a parent, whether you are a youth, you want to learn the coaching competencies because they will help you. So it's not just for professional coaches, but it's for people who are having conversations. So leaders have conversations, teams have conversations. So it's important for you to learn these conversations and the competence of these conversations to really develop as practitioners. We don't want to just be professors of things, but we want to be practitioners of things. So I want you to join us in one of our classes upcoming, because in those classes we go deeper in each one of these competencies. We have classes on virtual, which means that I'll engage you virtually around the world. We have classes live in person as well. So come and join us for our live in person classes, and we help to take you from the ACC, PCC, MCC level all the way through. And we have a very dedicated team of support staff that's all there for you, and our coaches in the community are there to support you as well. So if you'd like to find out more, do remember drop us an email at coach@coachingchangeslives, and we'll get right to you. Or engage us on our Facebook page or Instagram, and we will love to talk with you. Or leave us a comment below and say, hey, I would like to find out more about Coaching Changes Lives. Let us know, and we'll have one of our members to speak with you as well. So what is coaching mindset, and how do we navigate through this complexity of what we call mindset? Now let's look at what ICF says a mindset is. It's about developing and maintaining a mindset that's open, curious, and flexible and client-centered. 4 things. Mindset is open, curious, flexible, and client-centered. So let me start with something easier first: client-centeredness. Now, too often in the coaching conversational process, we are not centered on the client, but centered on ourselves as coaches, because it's about what kind of questions I ask, what kind of tools and techniques I ask. Now, if you think about that, and if that is the forefront of your process, if you think about, oh, okay, what's the next step I should ask in the whole sequence of conversation, then you become coach-focused, you become performance-focused, then client-focused. Now, even this notion of solutions-focus versus solutioning focus, I will often challenge coaches. I said, hey, is it just about the solutions? Is it just about the results? Is it just about the performance? What are we actually coaching? Or the better question to ask is, who are we actually coaching? So it's about client-centeredness. Are our questions revolving around the client? Are our questions revolving around where the client wants to be? Not just what they want to do, but who they are on the inside of them. So the question is not just the why, the question is about the who. Now, one of the things also is about creating an open space so that the client can explore with freedom, the client can explore with safety, the client can explore that with an ease. Curious, the mindset of the coach is one that's curious, being playful, exploring different nuances the client has in their world, identifying those patterns, and be flexible because sometimes the client may come this way and you may need to change your process, you may change your style, you may need to adapt to the client's learning styles or the client's learning language. So too often I hear coaches being stuck in a coach's terminology. They will ask very professionally sounding word, how would you account yourself? But the poor client has no idea what accountability means. So we got to break it down into common words or simple words that the client can relate to, and that's the flexibility that's demanded of a coach. What makes coaching really unique is that coaches must be able to navigate that with finesse. Coaches must be able to navigate that with also honoring the client in the process as well. So that flexibility is demanded of the client, the flexibility is demanded of the coach, and both of them are being curious in that moment to co-create something that's beautiful. Now, in fact, in our program called Team Leadership Performance Coaching, I talk about this notion of co-creative conversation. It's not about just me trying to create something. It's about bringing the client on board as partners to co-create this entire journey, to co-create the process. Sometimes we may develop something that's just beautiful in that moment. So let's take a look at some of the key principles for the coaching mindset. Number one, it's about acknowledging that clients are responsible for their own choices. Number two, engages in ongoing learning and development as a coach. Number three, develops an ongoing reflective practice to enhance one's coaching. Number four, remains curious or remains aware of and open to the influence of the context and the culture on self and others. So when we think about the first point, which is acknowledges the client are responsible for their own choices, remember, we are responsible to the client, but the clients are responsible for their results. Responsibility is the responsibility of the individual to take on the ownership of their own choices. Remember, it's their life. I'm not the parent in life. I'm not the boss in their life. They are. They are responsible for their life. They're responsible for their choices. But the way we convey the message to them, it's going to be key. So it's not just saying that, it's your problem. This is your problem. This is what you should do. This is what you must do. Now, sometimes it might come as a rude shock to the client, so we want to be able to ease it to them, that they will take responsibility of the choices that they say they want. For example, the client comes to you and says, hey, coach, I've been trying to lose weight, but I just cannot do it. I'm just lazy. I just don't want to do it. Now, when you hear such languages, one of the key considerations as well is to see whether the client's taking responsibility for those actions that they say they're going to do. Because that's going to be important because we want to make sure that the client has full responsibility for what they say they want to do. So that's the first mindset. The second thing is about engage ongoing learning and development as a coach. When was the last time you learned something? When was the last time you read a book? In fact, our upcoming book called The OMG of Coaching is one of the most highly anticipated books all around the world. People have been asking me, when are you going to release that book? When are you going to release this book that's going to impact many lives? Now, give me some time because this year we're going to launch that amazing book called OMG of Coaching. Really, really powerful book where I'm going to have a compendium for you as a coach to really help you to develop yourself as a coach, to have learning lessons and insights across the entire book. So the learning and development of a coach is going to be key. When was the last time you read a book? When was the last time you read an article? I have articles on the ICF website, I have articles on Forbes as well. When was the last time you learned something? Come and join us in our classes. Come and join us in our learning portals. Come and join us for our community events. Because you know what? Every single opportunity we get to learn and we grow will help our clients. Coaches who don't grow are not learners. Remember, learning coaches are coaches who are able to take the clients further than ever before. The day when a coach fails to learn, it will be the day when he begins to when the trajectory begins to downfall. Because that's the day when he's no longer growing and developing as a person. Remember, your learning and development as a coach is consequential to how well or how effective your coaching conversations become. Because if you don't grow yourself, the clients cannot grow. The clients can only rise to the limits of how you've grown yourself. To that level of awareness you have for yourself, that's the awareness your clients will be as well. So my challenge to you is this. What is your learning plan for this year? How are you going to grow yourself as a coach this year? Now, if you're not a coach, if you're a leader watching this, or maybe you are a communicator or a speaker, how are you growing yourself this year? Challenge yourself. Don't just learn the same things that you enjoy. Challenge yourself to learn multiple intelligences. Challenge yourself to learn something new, something fresh, something that will help you gain more insights in. Number 3, it's about develop an ongoing reflective practice to enhance one's coaching. When was the last time you recorded yourself, played back, and reflect upon those things that you said? When was the last time you reflected upon yourself in your conversations with your friends, with your peers? When was the last time you had reflective practice about the things you're faced with, the challenges you're faced with? I have one video called Ruminating, the Power of Rumination, right? That video, it's going to be important. How do we ruminate on the things that we have grown in? How do we take and seize those advantages? How do we review our recordings? And that's why we have the mentor coaching groups. In fact, at Coaching Changes Lives, we have mentor coaching success, where every single month we gather our coaches together, we drill in the competencies, we review them, we get coaches on the spot to coach, and we tell them, hey, where to improve on, where to work on, and help them to see beyond themselves, developing an ongoing reflective practice. And we get coaches to pair with each other all around the world to really build that tenacity, to build that culture, that spirit of constant improvement, right? Never ceasing constant improvement. It's a little bit like the Kaizen way. Now, number 4, it's about remaining aware of and open to the influence of context and culture on self and others. Now, one of the things that I enjoy speaking about is culture. In fact, I've been brought over the world talking about culture and how culture influence your words. Culture influence our communication. Culture influence the way we believe, the way we act. For example, put 2 persons in the same room. Observe them purchasing something from a restaurant, observe them eating. Their culture will be demonstrated in the way they eat, in the way they communicate, in the way they serve the food, in the way that they give thanks for the food. Every single culture matters. There's no one culture that's above another culture. In the context of a coaching conversation, we need to honor the client's culture. We may have our own beliefs, but never let our beliefs dominate the client. Never impose your beliefs on the client as well. Why? Because it's about the client, it's not about us. I may disagree with certain things, but you know what? It's the client's world, the client's reality. Is it ecological for them? If it is, let's move with that. So one of the key things here, as well as we consider this, it's about the influence of the context and the culture that it has on you, us, and the client. Remember, I talked about this earlier, about this awareness level. Because if we're not aware of how culture is influencing us, how can we help our clients to be aware of those as well? If we're not aware of the context that's influencing us, how can we help our clients as well? So I give you an example. Some coaches, may think that clients are always this way, right? The clients are not clear because they don't have clarity. The clients are not able to do action because they're lazy, because the clients are not taking ownership. Now, when we have that, and we say, oh, people of this culture is like that, people of that culture is like that, people of this age is like this, oh, the Generation X is like this, Generation Z is like this, the baby boomers are like this, or the strawberry generation is like that. Now, when we classify people like that, guess what happens? We limit the potential on the inside of them. Every single person has a greatness within them. I talk about this in one of our classes as well, that every single person has that innate greatness. In the Mastering Coaching program that we run, it's an internationally acclaimed program. I encourage you to come again and again and again because that program is so powerful. In it, I talk about the greatness, the seed of greatness within each and every single person, and how us as coaches are drawing out those greatness, drawing out those potential within the client, and helping them to realize who they are on the inside. Now let's look at the other points here. Number 5, it's about users' awareness of self and one's intuition to benefit clients. Number 6, develops and maintains the ability to regulate one's emotions. Number 7, mentally and emotionally prepares for the sessions. And number 8, seeks help from outside sources when necessary. So the coaching mindset also helps us to build our awareness of ourselves. Are we aware of ourselves? Are we attuned to our intuition? So you may ask me, Jedi, how do we develop our intuition? Well, other than coming to your class, one of the ways is to try to practice listening to the voice on the inside of you. Listening to the voice on the inside of you. In fact, one of the upcoming videos, I'm going to share with you some practical tips you can grow your intuition. In our classes, in team leadership classes, in our NLP classes as well, we teach coaches how to tap into the intuition. Now, intuition is not those airy-fairy, without any explanation. No, intuition, it's about the unconscious response that all of us have, the signals on the inside of us. Now, some of us can feel those signals because those signals are our unconscious part of ourselves that's actually reminding us or telling us, helping us become aware of certain things. Perhaps consciously you're always focusing on that, but now your unconscious is open to the possibilities that are there. When I see my clients, I see possibilities. I don't see the problems. When I see problems, when I see challenges, I see possibilities and opportunities. Now, another, it's about develop and maintains an ability to regulate one's emotion. Your client may come to you being angry, being upset, being frustrated at certain things. How do we regulate our own emotions? That is what we call state management. In fact, one of the reasons why we encourage coaches to take all our programs because our programs are designed in a way to help you do one of three things. Number one, to skill you as a coach. Number two, to help you get better state management. Number three, to help you scale your coaching practice. And that's why coaches come back again and again to our programs because they want to learn how to better manage our state. So in our class, the NLP class, Neuro Linguistics program, we have level 1 to level 4, and we have other levels as well. It helps you as coach to become more in control of your own emotions, of your energy, of your awareness of self as well. Now, mentally, emotionally prepared, that's how we prepare for ourselves. That's how we frame the world. That's how we enter the conversation with those positions. So sometimes clients or sometimes coaches don't prepare themselves. So they may be rushing from another meeting, another appointment, coming to the conversation, feeling all battered out, feeling all tired, and they're not able to be focused in the session. So too often, many coaches don't prepare themselves, and no wonder the clients are not getting the benefit of the coaching session. So I want to encourage you, as coaches, as students, as learners, as leaders, how do we prepare ourselves before the conversation? It's important because if we don't prepare for that, the client is not getting the best experience out of you. Next is to seek help from outside sources. Do you have buddy coaches? Do you have mentors? Do you have other sources, other interventions, other support mechanisms to really help you and grow you as a person? Because coaching is a very personal journey. Yet coaching is a powerful journey because it not only helps another person, but it's also helping you as an individual. Now, the coaching mindset is not directly assessed in a particular recording. It's assessed across all the other competencies as well, because for you to be able to do well in other competencies, your coaching mindset should be there. And it's also demonstrated across the years as you practice your coaching competencies, your coaching leadership, and your coaching skills, you get better and better each and every single time. In those processes, now you become clearer, now you become better in those skills as well. So one of the key attributes for us to consider is how do we improve ourselves one day at a time. Now, I talk about this all the time in my classes. It's not about having that jump skill sets. It's about having that 1% shift one day at a time, one change at a time, one small step at a time. What's the one thing you can do right now? So I want to challenge you, if you're watching this video, what is one thing that you can create for yourself today? Your learning map that you can create for yourself for this entire year. What will be your learning development journey? Perhaps it's attending one of our programs in mastering coaching or team leadership performance coaching, or maybe our professional career coaching. We also have public speaking coaching as well. Maybe it's attending one of those courses that we have. Or maybe it's about reading a book. Maybe it's about subscribing to our email content. Or maybe it's about subscribing to our YouTube channel because we have lots of content for you. How do you take this content? Do you just listen to them or do you ruminate over them? Do you take some time to write down notes and revisit them? Do you seek engagement? Do you put down comments in the comment section below to let us know, to interact with us, to engage with us? Raise questions. Come and join us in our mentor coaching groups. Yep, some of you may say, hey, you know what? But why do I need to do that? Because you know why? Where two or more are gathered, something amazing happens. When there's a discussion in the group, there's lots of co-creative space that happens. Sometimes we call it the co-creative energy, the co-creative spirit, the co-creative process. Where two or more are gathered, there's something beautiful that happens in that process where we create something in those moments. Every single conversation matters. Every single conversation brings forth some new insights for you, for the clients, and for everyone. The coaching mindset is one that is a growth mindset. It's one that's a learning mindset. It's one that helps the mind to be more aware about things that they may not be aware of, both at a conscious level and the unconscious level. So I want to challenge you in this whole process. As you develop yourself as a coach, how aware are you of your learning growth? How aware are you of your curiosity? How flexible are you as a coach? Are you stuck with one process? Are you stuck with one model? Or are you flexible enough to move with the client in the process? So one thing I'm very known for in all my coaching classes is this, that I don't support any set model. In fact, I teach my coaches all around the world that don't rely on a particular model. Because don't let the model trap you. Yes, there are certain structures in the process. Yes, there's certain sequence, there's certain steps in the process. But don't let the structures dominate you. You are in control. The support structures are there to support you, but they're not there to lead you and drive you. Very much like if you think about a river in the bank is not moving the river is flowing because there's an unforced rhythms of grace. And the banks are there to support, the banks are there to keep and contain the river flow as it meanders through the journey. My challenge to you as a coach today is this, as you're listening to this, when was the last time you practiced coaching? Coaches need to practice coaching, and that's how we refine our skills. How many hours a day do you practice? In fact, every single day you have conversations with your peers, with your loved ones, with your teams. How can we integrate your coaching competencies in your daily conversation to get better one conversation at a time? My challenge to you is this: don't look for the great growth. Micro growths every single day matters, because when you look back, you see an exponential growth. One day at a time, growing mindfully, growing with reflection, growing with rumination, and growing in this process, and having an attitude of learning and a desire to want to grow and to become a better coach. So if you enjoyed this video, give a thumbs up, share this with a friend, hit the subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you in our upcoming video in the next competency, one of my most exciting competency, on competency number 3, which is on maintains agreements. Okay, so whenever you're ready, I look forward to seeing you in our next video.